Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. I'm also from Harmony on High Street in Campbelltown, Tasmania. So welcome. Thank you all for joining me today. I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Monday the 31st of March here. And the time is 10:46 a.m. So welcome. I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website or through Harmony on High Street. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this week ahead. That's this week starting Monday the 31st of March through to Sunday the 6th of April 2025. If you're new to watching, welcome. And also a big welcome to my regular viewers. Hi Rhonda, welcome to you. Look who's on the bottom, the Spirit Dragon. I meant to go this way. If you're new to watching, what I'm going to be doing is using my Oracle cards. These are cards I created. We have two decks combined, the Speed of Light Oracle and the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. They've been combined to make a deck of 110 cards. So I'll be using this deck of Oracle cards to find the best cards that the majority of us need for this week ahead. I am not pulling cards for individuals. This is general guidance for everyone. So I trust that you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared supports you at this time. I do recommend that you take on board what does feel right and what does resonate and what does fit into your life easily, and let the rest go. Let's think of this as a guide only, and let's allow ourselves to be surprised and see what happens. Good morning. Hi, Chantel. And Pearl's here, and Janice is here, and Mel's here. Welcome. It's great to see you all. Thanks for joining me today. All right, we're asking the cards now to show the majority of us what do we need to know for this week. Monday the 31st of March, transitioning into April, and we're going up to Sunday the 6th of April. And the best cards for the majority of us for this week are these. I'm going to lay them face down here beside me, so just bear with me a moment. We're going to do three lots of pairs. So, Animal Kingdom are hot. So let's start at the beginning. Monday, the 31st of March. We're just going to start with Monday here on its own. We've got an Animal Kingdom Oracle card, and it's the Raven. Card 17. It says, face your shadow with honesty. So this is highlighting the shadow energy. So this is usually things that are unseen, things that are hidden. Sometimes they're even hidden. In fact, often they're hidden from ourselves as well. So there could be things that we haven't figured out yet, things that are sitting under the surface that we're trying to understand, things that we're confused about can also be a part of that. This can also include things like our insecurities, our limitations, our own unresolved issues and matters that are holding us back. So the shadowy energy, I think of the parts of us that are unknown to us, and they're unknown. So they haven't come into the light yet, if you like. They haven't become known. So if it's not known to us, if it's sitting under the surface, then it's typically, we could call that the unknown or the shadow. So it sits in the shadows, it hovers in the shadows. How does this translate to what we're going through in our life? There's probably something that we're dealing with on Monday or around this time that is probably not that comfortable. The shadowy energy and the unknown, the fear that we might be feeling, it's not comfortable energy to sit in. So there might be something that's hovering, something that feels uncomfortable, something that perhaps feels dark or feels scary. So what we're being encouraged to do through the Raven is to face these parts of ourselves and our life including our relationships as well, to face these things honestly. So the more we deny or make excuses for or push something away that is calling our attention, the louder it's going to become. So we're better off, according to this card, and I would also back this up with my experience, is to face this, to confront it, to face it, and see what's going on here. Often when we face and confront our shadow, things may not be as scary as what we think. Sometimes the more we avoid something and the louder it becomes, the more scarier it feels. And then we confront it and we face it with as much honesty as we can. And we may see that actually this is not as bad as what I thought. So that can be quite a pleasant surprise when we actually stop and confront the energy with honesty instead of running from it or making excuses for it or denying that it exists. So if this is something you're dealing with, I'm sure you will probably relate to what I'm talking about. If not, then that's great. If you're not dealing with shadow energy, fantastic. Although, you know, it's an interesting energy to face, and it's something that's ever present. And I feel that it can really help us get to know ourselves better. And if we can get to know ourselves better, that can help us get to know others better through our relationships that we have, and also help us get to know our life better, how we interact and how we function in life in regards to our character and things. Now, I'm just going to go straight to Tuesday with this card. So Tuesday, the 1st of April, we've got a Speed of Light Oracle, and it's the Wolf, card 44, which is interesting for the first day of the 4th month. It says instincts, moon cycles, trust and flow. So this is very much highlighting the seasonal shifts, the seasonal cycles, not only that we're witnessing in our environment or in our weather. So the seasons are shifting. We're going to the cooler time periods here in the southern hemisphere, if we're not living in the tropics, I guess, and you'll be doing the opposite in the northern hemisphere. So there is this clear seasonal shift that's taking place at the moment. So not only are we seeing this in our weather and in the seasonal shifts going from one season to another, but we may also be noticing this in our life. So there's probably a shift that we're noticing that's cycling around, something that we're going through now, perhaps, that's reminding us of a time past. There might be a cycle that we're moving through that, triggers some memory from the past, like we've been here before, but maybe we are definitely older now at the very least, hopefully wiser as well. But there's probably something different that we're learning from this time around, or this cycle through. So there's cycles at play. Cycles always move. So one thing to remember or to remind ourselves, that I find at least comforting when I'm going through a cycle that might be a challenging one, is to remind myself that this is temporary, because cycles and seasons are always temporary. We're always moving from one season or cycle or phase to another. So we're not staying in that forever. So sometimes it's comforting to remember that it's a temporary shift. It's a temporary journey through. And sometimes that can help us cope with the shifts, especially if it's quite uncomfortable. So that's for Tuesday. Now let's look at Wednesday and Thursday here together. And then we've got 3 cards left. So Wednesday the 2nd, Thursday the 3rd of April, we have an Animal Kingdom Oracle. And it's the Gorilla, card 9. The Gorilla has similar feeling of colours to the Raven. Not exactly a comfortable energy to be in. The Gorilla says to do the right thing. So do the right thing, be honest with ourselves. There's this honesty, truth, integrity, doing what's ethically correct in this situation. This energy is hovering, not just for this period, but for these days in question. So this time period we're looking at. So at the moment, we've been encouraged to do the right thing and be honest, be truthful. Live not by lies. I love that. So the gorilla means business. I mean, he's got attitude. He's fixed. He's like a mountain. He's immovable. He's stubborn. He's in position and he's inflexible. So there is this feeling that there might be some situation that we're going through, especially around Wednesday and Thursday, where we may find ourselves being fixed and stubborn and inflexible. Now, whether this is a good thing or not is up to us to decide and determine, because some situations require us to be fixed and determined and stubborn. Sometimes we have to be like that to get through. We have to be, it calls that sort of strength in us to be able to get through that time period. But sometimes we can be too stubborn or too fixed, too inflexible, and that can then hinder our progress or hinder our growth or movement through something. So I think this is going to be up to us to determine whether we're being too stubborn or if we need to be more stubborn, depending on what we've got going on and what's going on for us at this time period. So around this time, but especially Wednesday and Thursday, there is an assertive feeling with this card too. So there might be things that we need to say. There might be air that we need to clear. There might be truth that we need to speak. So we might find that energy hovering around too, around Wednesday, Thursday. But this again is a confronting energy. It also highlights the shadowy fear kind of energy around. And the red in both of these cards, which have quite that similar feel, really brings highlight to our physical body, our physical world, what we've got going on physically. So things we're actually going through in our life. It could be financial, work, perhaps relationships, our home situation or our living situation. These sorts of things may be under the spotlight. Our survival, maybe even health we could add into that too. So that's for Wednesday, Thursday. Now we've got Friday the 4th of April. This is the power day in the month, the 4th of the 4th. We have a Speed of Light Oracle card, and it is Overlapping Worlds, card 23. This is very strong as well. Transition. This energy I'm feeling very strong. Transition, sensitivity, temporary, and adjustment. So because I've already talked about the energy being temporary, the seasons, the cycles, the phases that we're going through at this particular time period, this is again highlighting that. In fact, this highlights that shifting time. It highlights things changing and us being in between change. And I call that being in a time of transition. So when we're going from one space to another, one cycle through to another, one phase to another, one chapter to another, when we're going through that sort of one to the other, this is what I call a time of transition. It's an uncomfortable time. It's an unsettling time because we're neither here nor there. We've got perhaps our 1 foot in the old world and 1 foot in the new world. We're not quite there yet, but we're not quite out of that yet either. So it's very unsettling usually, and we can be quite hypersensitive too during this time period. And even though this card's come up for Friday, this is very present now. I've sort of already talked about it a bit too with the wolf, and it's just sort of this hovering energy. So this is probably not just for Friday, sorry, it's probably not just for Friday. So we're going through a time of transition. Let's be patient and gentle with ourselves. Let's again remind ourselves this is temporary. What we're going through is temporary, but let's still embody it, take responsibility for the energies that we are moving through. Let's not ignore or deny or try and run away. We need to really face this and confront this as honestly and openly as we can. So that's for Friday. Saturday, the 5th of April, and actually I'm going to bring the other card up too. Saturday the 5th, Sunday the 6th of April, 2 Animal Kingdom Oracle. We have the dolphin. That's nice. And we have the condor. That's nice too. Looks like we might be in for a lighter weekend, which is nice. Let's look at the dolphin first for Saturday. It's card 6 for the 5th. And it says it's a time to celebrate. So there's a celebratory energy around for Saturday. Yeah, I don't know what you've got planned for Saturday, but if you've got, say, a birthday party, anniversary, a gathering or some sort, then this is certainly highlighting and emphasizing that this is important and a good idea to go if you've been thinking about not going, because the energy is pretty heavy leading up to there. But it could be a really good thing to go. It could be a really good thing to step out and do something different. If there's a concert on or a gathering on, or we just want to step out into nature, if we have the time, this might be really helpful for us to sort of uplift and perk us up a little bit or a lot. So that might be something in the air for some of us on Saturday. Celebration, but an uplifting feeling. So let's make the effort to step into those potential situations, because with the heaviness potentially around beforehand, we might not want to go. But if we can drag ourselves to something, we might find it to be of great benefit, especially if it's on Saturday. Now, Sunday, we've got the Condor, which is card 50. And it says, expand your horizons. So this very much highlights being careful of having tunnel vision, especially on Sunday or towards the end of the weekend. So if you're fixed on something, then it sort of comes back to this gorilla energy. If you're fixed and stubborn on this one tunnel vision towards something, we might find that it might not quite work. There is this sense with the Condor that we're being encouraged to expand from the tunnel vision and look at more of the horizon, more of the potential that's out there wherever it is that we're going. So this is very much about the future. It's about forward movement. It's about what's on the horizon for us. What can we see out there that's a potential to call us, to call our path forward, or just to call us forward? So if we're fixed on one thing or going in one direction, we could be blocking off all this other stuff, all these other possibilities that could be quite amazing. Now, if you're going through some health thing and it's not really working out for you, and it might be like in connected with this energy, it could be good to get second opinions to expand the horizons of potential solutions or potential fixes or potential support for whatever it is that you're moving towards in a tunnel visioned way. So keep that in mind if you're going through something like that. So it's an expanded perspective. It's also an uplifted feeling. So this is nice coming off the back of the dolphin, because the energy is quite heavy and just very physical leading up to the weekend. So with the dolphin, there's an uplifting feeling, like a pulling up feeling. And then while we're up there with the Condor, we can then see further ahead. So we might find some solutions to things that we've been stuck with may reveal themselves over the weekend too, especially if we can find something to uplift us and then expand our tunnel vision and open up to other possibilities, other options, to feel hopeful that there's some solution, some fix out there for us if we've been feeling stuck or trapped with something. So I think the weekend certainly uplifting, a lot of potential there. The week, during the week, might be a bit muddy, it might be a bit mucky, it could be uncomfortable, but we're very much encouraged to trust in the cycles and the phase that we're going through at this time. Remind ourselves that this is temporary as we move through these cycles and changes. Be honest. We need to be honest. We need to be truthful. We need to stay aligned with the truth here as we move forward. This is going to also be very, very important. So there are our cards for this week. No featured cards this week. I am going to pull a theme card in just a moment. But before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please interact. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. If you're watching on Facebook, please hit the subscribe or follow button. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. All my videos go up onto my YouTube channel, Temple of Balance on YouTube. So if you ever take a break from Facebook, you can still connect with these videos on my YouTube channel. Just go to Temple of Balance on YouTube and hit the subscribe button. So what we've got coming up are my next card reading club is coming up on Thursday the 10th of April, and we're looking at the theme of creation. And my next online art class is coming up the day after, which is Friday the 11th of April. And we're starting a 6-part series on the rites of passage. And we're actually looking at the cycles that we go through, men and women. So we're looking at the maiden, then the youth, the young man. Then we're looking at the mother, and we're looking at the warrior. Then we're looking at the crone or the matriarch. And then we're looking at the sage, the wise male, the wise masculine energy. So we'll be doing that up until September. If you want to join in with that, it's great to get in at the start so you can join us through the journey as we go through those rites of passage. So that's coming up, the online art class on the 11th of April. If you'd like to join me for either of those, or if you want to learn more, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. If you'd like to learn more about my cards or the work I do here, please visit my website, and you can learn more there. Or let me know if you've got any questions. So I'm looking for the best theme card now. The theme card will help bring these days together and help us see the bigger picture for these days that we're looking at, which is Monday the 31st of March through till Sunday the 6th of April 2025. And the best theme card is this. It's an Animal Kingdom Oracle card. Oh yes, we have the Stallion card 1 as we start a new month. This is good. This actually shows movement that's coming forward this week, even though things may hover through the sort of working week, if you like. It says untie yourself. So this is about setting our wild spirit free. There's a freedom feeling and a movement feeling, an action feeling with this particular card as a theme. This is a great card to have as a theme because it shows, or it lifts us up out of that hovery energy, which seems to be really here from Monday to Friday, especially a hovery sort of space. But as a theme with this much action, it kind of brings a bit of a wind to the hovery energy. If it was a fog, and you know, when it's foggy, there's no wind, and then the wind picks up. It doesn't have to be much, and it starts clearing the fog. Well, this feels like the wind. So this is the wind. This is the passion. This is the motivation. This is the enthusiasm, hopefully, that we'll find in the ups and downs of our days, just to help keep us going, help keep giving us that push through, help being the wind that helps clear the fog. So let's stay focused, let's stay active as we need to, and let's set our wild spirit free. So the Stallion. Thank you so much for connecting. Have a fantastic week ahead, and I look forward to connecting with you again sometime soon. Take care of yourself, and goodbye for now.